All right, Matt, really interesting fight at 155 pounds on the main card of our May 30th UFC Fight Night between Chata Tuska, Brok Weaver taking on the Predator Roosevelt Roberts. And I say it's really interesting because typically Roosevelt Roberts for a lightweight is one of the bigger guys in the division, but he's going to be taking on a guy who's similar in height and reach and overall size. And Brok Weaver's a guy that's fought at 170 pounds in the past. And a lot of people were saying when Chase Sherman made his return to the UFC, who's somebody that's fought in the UFC, then fought bare knuckle, then fought back in the UFC. Well, Brok Weaver's probably one of the closest fighters to that, with the exception maybe Beck Rawlings, I guess. But still, Brok Weaver wins in bare knuckle, wins in MMA. So far in his UFC career, well, really, it was just his one fight. His last fight against Kazula Vargas, where he was an overwhelming favorite in that one, was getting absolutely pieced up until he took an illegal knee to the face, and then the fight ended. He got the win, but it was not a good first showing.
No, it wasn't. So Brok Weaver has one of those styles that's only going to last as long as his chin holds up. Because, and not that if you go to bare knuckle, you're automatically a brawler, but I'm pretty sure if you've ever watched Brok Weaver fight, brawler is basically what he does. Like, that's what he goes by. And he can eat shots, but we saw in that last fight, I don't know if his chin is starting to sort of catch up with him, because he does take a lot of damage in his fights, and he doesn't have the skills of like a Justin Gaethje who puts it on you as hard as you can put it on him. He will take quite a few damaging shots, and he kind of reminds me of a guy like Drew Dober, but Drew Dober has evolved into a much more technical boxer. He doesn't just rely on, okay, I'm just going to go out there and brawl, and let's see what happens afterwards. He's really kind of refined his technique, and Weaver has time to do that, but he just hasn't really shown those advantages just yet. And with a guy like Roberts, who is the much more technical striker, a brawler's always going to have a hard time against a technician.
Yeah, I mean, the thing with Brok Weaver, he was just so square in his last fight. That was a big issue. And Kazula Vargas was a much smaller opponent, but he was able to just pressure until the illegal knee, and then Brok Weaver gets a win. Now he's taking on Roosevelt Roberts, who's a guy that's 3-1 so far in the UFC. Came in off of Contender Series, got a big finish win there. Got a win in his last fight over Alexander Yakovlev, who, oh, by the way, he's been in the UFC for 6 years. Kind of weird. But Roosevelt Roberts getting a big win there. Really long, rangy striker. Really technical as well. I think that's really going to help him out in this fight. In terms of the odds, again, so we talked about Hannah Cyphers and Mackenzie Dern, Dern being the biggest favorite on the card. Roosevelt Roberts pretty close behind, minus 300 favorite. Brok Weaver coming in a plus 240 underdog. I'm actually surprised these odds aren't a little bit closer, because Brok Weaver's on a decent little win streak in his own right. Roosevelt Roberts, yeah, he lost one and then won one, but still, if you look over on Tapology at 379 votes, overwhelming majority to the tune of 78% are picking Roberts to win, 68% predicting a decision. How do you see this fight going?
I think Roberts is going to have a lot of success going ahead. I wouldn't be surprised if Weaver does land a big shot and knocks him out, but that's really his only path to victory in this fight. I don't think he can go out there and just sort of out-finesse Roberts for 3 rounds. I don't think he can. His style doesn't really, it doesn't cater to a decision win. And Mark Hunt has said it, if you go for the knockout, you're never going to win the decision. And that's kind of the case with Brok Weaver, sorry. I think Roberts is going to be able to get it done. I think he's going to put on a bit of a clinic, too.
Yeah, so do I. I think Roosevelt Roberts is going to be able to get the win, more than likely, again, by decision. He's been able to beat some pressure fighters in the past as well. Really good fight, and you're not going to want to miss the rest of our predictions for the card. 5 minutes for Woodley and Burns, 2 minutes for the rest of the prelims and the main card. Keep it locked in with Fight Night Picks, Matt. And as we always say with Fight Night Picks, let's get into it.